Second.
Play.
One thing we want to do is introduce our entertainment guest here, entertainment attorney James Walker. And we brought you in because we wanted to dive into this because since this all broke, there have been twists and turns in this entire thing. The statement that Sharon was alluding to is from his legal team saying, today we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in this search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett. This sounds like they've got something in their back pocket. Would you hope that they do?
No, I watched the statement this morning, and thank you for having me.
Sure.
I watched the statement this morning from the superintendent of Chicago, and he said they called a meeting with us a week back. They said they had new evidence. They bought nothing. We, on the other hand, as Chicago police, we have the rope, we have receipts, we have a cash check or canceled check, we have videotape, we have the two witnesses. And I just don't see where the Smollett legal team is going with this. I think the approach should have been lay low, get out here in the community and apologize, and when we come back on March 14th, hopefully the court will have some leniency on you. This is a felony class 4. It's not a major, but it is because of the way he's handled it and the way he allegedly has lied to police, and police have put over 1,000 man-hours in. And what's not being discussed is the FBI piece to this. The FBI is investigating that letter.
Yeah.
If they find out he wrote that letter or somehow had something to do with that letter, and the, I guess, aspirin that was crushed in the letter to try to make it look like it was a terroristic attack on him, if they find out in some way that he was behind that letter, you're talking 5 years.
Yeah,
and the question we've been polling is whether or not he should go to jail. We've been asking our fans and friends, and the unanimous consent seems to be most don't want him to go to jail, but many feel he should pay a serious price here.
And if he keeps this up, you know, the statement that is so defiant, the judge was reportedly even disgusted, maintaining he has a presumption of innocence. But, you know, we heard Superintendent Eddie Johnson lay out a multitude of things. They think he did send that letter to himself, and when he didn't get enough attention, he went further, staging the attack, self-inflicted wounds, the whole nine. The $100,000 bond, in light of everything, you know, if he wasn't this famous actor but didn't get this much attention, would it be $100,000?
Probably not. Not for something like this. We have college kids who makes pranks like this. People file false police reports all the time. But he has really angered the city of Chicago. He has really upset this police department, the mayors, and all the leadership there because they wasted countless hours investigating what seems to be a hoax. And I think had he not done that, you probably wouldn't see $100,000. You probably would have saw a much smaller kind of bond, if one at all. And I think his next steps are going to be whether or not I really fall on the sword here, apologize, try to show some level of remorse, because I just don't see any level of ownership here from him or his team.
Can't go to trial.
And there was talk that he was going to hire some high-powered, you know, Mark Garagos. And then today we haven't seen anyone really come out. And there was a lot of confusion when he came out the courthouse. There wasn't a statement ready. There was the family came out for a minute, then they went through another door, then the lawyers went another way. So you could see there was a little bit of confusion on how they were going to handle the overwhelming media.
But in the hours since all of this went down, there really hasn't been a display of contrition on his part. And as Sharon read that statement saying, you know, I'm sorry that this is happening to all of you, but I didn't do this. So unless he comes out and throws himself on his sword, is it just the brother's word against his word? He said...
Well, it's the evidence. Yeah. The police have videotapes. They have the brothers in the store. They have the history of the brothers texting with him, buying him allegedly drugs. I mean, there's too much overwhelming evidence here, unless he has something we haven't seen. But from a criminal law standpoint, the evidence seems to directly point at Mr. Smollett.
You know, it does seem that people always say celebrities get special treatment, but it's a double-edged sword, right? And you're a heavy hitter, so you got the criminal matter over here, but you got to try to save his career over here, and to learn that he's back on the set of Empire. If you're representing him, are you making calls to the head of Fox, Lee Daniels, you know, who's the creator and the powerhouse behind the show? Is there a way to save him?
His out here, in my opinion, when they said he was buying this ecstasy, these drugs, his out could have been, I have a serious issue. I need to leave my career for a minute and get help and show contrition, as you alluded to. I think he should have taken that road, and had I been advising him, I would have said, call your job, get a leave of absence, get into a center somewhere, check in. You have to show you're getting treatment, because clearly if you're buying allegedly drugs, it's clearly something going on, and clearly people are not buying the Robin Roberts interview, the big CNN coverage of it today, people clearly see he is not who he said he was.
James, this will be a topic we return to, so we appreciate you coming in tonight, and we'll have you back again soon. James Walker, thank you, sir.
Appreciate
Thank
it so
you.
much. Boy, we could